The Pro Bowl has become a joke. Yet here we are. Big Deke news. Clearly, the Pro Bowl has become pretty much a joke these days. They don't even play football anymore. It's dodgeball and who the hell else knows. But there's still something to it. There's still something that gets us arguing about who's in, who's out, who got snubbed. Is it the nostalgic element that we yearn for the Pro Bowl days of the past where it actually meant something more?
And he's going to come up short. Oh!
Or is it just the fact that the Pro Bowl still is an award that credits individual performances for the season that was? And no matter what, we are going to argue, debate, and talk about those type of things as football fans. That's probably the answer. But either way, the AFC and the NFC rosters were named yesterday. And for the most part, I think they got it right for the Steelers. And don't tell Moats this, but I think his guy, Josh Allen, definitely did get snubbed for the AFC quarterback spot. I mean, Tua over Josh Allen, that's just flat outright stupidity. But for the Steelers that were able to get in, it was TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, and also Miles Killebrew on the special teams. With TJ Watt, nothing really needs to be said here. He's the best defensive player on this planet and should win the DPOY. So, of course, he is making the Pro Bowl. Now, Minka Fitzpatrick, this is a little reminiscent of TJ Watt getting in last year. Because remember, when TJ Watt was on the field, he was good. But he missed a lot of games, and I get why some may be scratching their head as to why TJ got in, and in this case, Minka Fitzpatrick getting in, because he's missed a lot of time. When he's been out there, he's been good, but is he deserving of the Pro Bowl? I'm not going to complain when a Steeler gets in. In fact, though, we could say this is a makeup call anyway for Minka in 2021 when he got snubbed that season. So it is whatever. Ball don't lie. It all balances out. And with Miles Killebrew, yeah, this could be actually his second Pro Bowl. I think he was deserving going back to that 2021 season as well. Because he had a couple punt blocks. I don't know why he didn't get in, but this year, clearly deserving. He's one of the best special teamers in the league. Had 2 punt blocks this year as well. Hopefully we can keep him around for the long term. I mean, Matthew Slater, as a special teams ace, was able to play how many seasons? Miles Killebrew, still, I guess, would be considered in the prime of his career and definitely is a part of that Steeler culture, that Steeler way that we love to talk about. Now, for the Steelers snubs, it's not too bad, actually. I got 3 names in mind. Pickens, Joey Porter Jr., and Chris Boswell. I think all 3 of these guys have a case. You got Pickens, who had a really good year. Despite the drama, despite the lack of blocking, despite some of the immature behavior, dude put up 1,100 yards and 5 touchdowns with a bunch of uncertainty at the quarterback position. Pickett being in and out, Mitch Trubisky playing bad, and now you got the third stringer Mason Rudolph in there. When you stack his numbers up, though, to the receivers that did make it on the AFC side, he falls just short in the yards and the touchdowns department. But there's no question Pickens should be the first alternate when it comes to the AFC receivers to get in if one of these guys backs out. But at the same time, we don't want Pickens to make it as an alternate because that means the Steelers aren't going to the Super Bowl. But also Pickens had a response to him not making the Pro Bowl. You guys remember last year where he felt like he was snubbed, where he had like 800 yards and a few touchdowns. So obviously he feels like he was snubbed this year when you increase your numbers by a decent degree. And this is what he had to say on his Instagram story. But now with JPJ, it's almost like the same thing with Pickens. Like, he's legit good enough and probably should be in consideration for the Pro Bowl and definitely will be an alternate if one of these guys back out. But the guys that are in front of him that made it, you got Pat Surtain II, Sauce Gardner, Jalen Ramsey, and Denzel Ward. Now, Jalen Ramsey, he, like Minka, missed a decent amount of the season, but he still has some of the splash and some of the numbers to go with the name. And JPJ did start out a little bit slow this year for the first month or so, just due to the snap counts that we were giving him. And he only got 1 pick on the season. He's been locked down. I get it. But I could see why these 4 guys ended up getting in over him at this point. Now with Boswell, this one's interesting because I do think he deserves to get in over Justin Tucker. His numbers are better than Justin Tucker. Tucker's just making it off of his legacy. He's really not having that good of a season. I think he's like 1 for 5 or 1 for 6 from 50 plus, whereas Boswell's like 5 for 6 or 6 for 7, and he's got a pretty good damn kicking percentage. But the other AFC guys that are in the mix have just as good of a case as Boswell, like Harrison Butker, Greg Zuerlein with the Jets, and also there's one other name I'm missing. I think the dude for the Titans, Nick Folk. Those guys have just as good of a case as Chris Boswell. It all depends on how you lean with it. Like, what do you value more? The kick percentage, how many they made from 50. So really, it should have just been Tucker didn't make the Pro Bowl, and then it just comes down to Boswell versus those 3 other kickers I named. Dealer's choice. I'm going with Boswell. In fact, he got snubbed from another 50-plus yard kick in that Jaguars game that could go on his stat. He should be 100%. Because of that stupid-ass offsides call. He drilled one from, 55, 56? Stupid offsides call. He had to re-kick and missed, the 60 or the 61-yarder. But, yeah, not too bad on the snubs, especially knowing that Minkah got in and there's a case that he wasn't exactly deserving. He still is the best free safety in the league, best safety in the league, period. But just due to the amount of games, I could see why people would complain about him getting in. But again, makeup call for the snub that took place with Minkah in 2021. So yeah, when you look at the snubs, really not that bad, especially when you consider Minkah got in with all the time that he missed. I feel like it kind of balanced out. We got 3 guys in. Could you say Minkah wasn't as deserving and Boswell should have got in, or JPJ? Either way, we got 3 with a chance for Pickens or JPJ, Boswell still to get in based off an alternate selection, but still, we don't want an alternate selection, right? And for guys that typically make it, like a Cam Hayward, I just think he missed too much time and was a little bit slow to get up to speed this year. One dude, I feel like if he would have stayed healthy, would be in serious consideration for a selection. That was Quan Alexander. Dude was just balling out, but unfortunately, he got injured. Outside of that, I don't know, man. I don't know. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, maybe they could get an alternate selection. But that's really it. Let me know your thoughts, though, on the Pro Bowl selection for this year in 2023 on the AFC side, and what Steelers you think got snubbed, etc., etc. But hope you guys enjoyed. Stay chilling on a Thursday, and peace.